it's crazy how much my skin changed.
Today I have a special guest, Emmy. She really is a go-to for acne, hyperpigmentation, and general skin health.
There are a lot of estheticians out there and spas in general who claim to treat acne, but just don't have the knowledge.
Let's talk about it because that's
Yeah.
really real. We want to be transparent and realistic about it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of She's in Sync. And today I have a special guest, Emmy, and she's a licensed esthetician and certified acne expert specializing in results-driven skin treatments. And she really is a go-to for acne, hyperpigmentation, and general skin health. She's super passionate about helping her clients achieve their skin goals. And I've personally worked with Emmy before. And this is part two. If you haven't listened to part one of what to do when you're having a breakout, go back and listen to that. Emmy is joining me to talk about what she recommends doing topically from a skin approach when you're having a breakout. So this pairs really nicely with what I talked about in part one of what I do from an internal approach as a hormone dietitian. So I'm really excited to have Emmy on the show. So welcome.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
I'm excited to chat with you. To start, I would love for you, obviously, I gave like a little intro, but share a little bit more about what you do, what your practice looks like, and kind of your passions in helping women with acne specifically, since that's our topic today.
Yeah. So as you said, I am a licensed esthetician. I specialize in treating acne. I've been in the industry for over 6 years now, and I've kind of done a little bit of everything. Like I've worked in a more traditional spa setting and then a med spa. And I found really my niche is acne and all those like more corrective skin conditions. So that's when I kind of veered off. And then I went through Face Reality to do an acne specific certification. So if you don't know, Face Reality is a skincare company. All their products are specifically for acne prone people. So yeah, really great certification through them. And it's not my only thing that I do, but it's definitely it's my niche. So
Yeah.
do a lot of like a whole like program with treating acne where we do a consultation and then clients come back every 3 weeks or so until their skin is clear. And then I like to mesh a little bit of relaxation with that too. So I do a lot of just more like custom facials and some relaxation facials, but yeah, all the more results driven things are definitely my jam.
Yeah. And that's what I loved when I was seeing you too, is that you do, it's not just like getting a bunch of chemical peels. I mean, that's obviously a big piece of it, but it's like you do the hand and arm massage and
Yes.
you just moved to a beautiful location. For those of you in the Columbus area, it's in Uptown Westerville. It's like super, super cute. So it's really a vibe. And it's
Yeah.
really, especially for us with acne, like I remember wishing I could just get like a general facial and be like, oh, I can just do this. But I was always so scared of it causing me to break out. And so I always had to go for like the painful extractions and the chemical peels and
Mhm.
things like that. So you really do a great job of mixing the two. So you're like targeting your acne and healing that from the outside and also bringing in that relaxation component too.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's not fair. Like just because we have acne doesn't mean we shouldn't get that relaxation element too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
know.
that's the both worlds.
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit more about, because I talked a lot in previous episodes about making sure if you have acne, first and foremost, it's a dual approach. So working with someone like me for the internal stuff, if you have chronic acne, is really important, but then also working with someone like you for external, because we can't just
Mhm.
choose. A lot of times for us girlies with chronic acne, we can't just do one facet and expect results because we really
Right.
have to approach it from both lenses. So I talk a lot about finding someone who has certifications in acne as an esthetician because I went to a lot of acne, I'm doing air quotes here, acne specialists when I was dealing with acne, and they actually made my skin worse and they didn't have that training. So they were, like putting a lot of products on my skin that were pore cloggers. And a lot of times I'd have flares after going to them that were not your usual purging. It was like, no, like this actually is making things worse. So, how do you find someone who actually is a specialist in treating acne from a topical angle?
The easiest and safest way would be to just go to Face Reality's website. They have an acne expert locator. So you can just type in your zip and it will bring up anyone within the surrounding area who is a certified acne expert. So I would say that's probably your best bet, because if you've gone through the Face Reality program, you are really well versed in acne from a topical standpoint. I'm sure there's lots of other great certifications out there, but then aside from them, I would say just really finding people on social media who feel like they know what they're talking about. There are a lot of estheticians out there and spas in general, who claim to treat acne, but just don't have the knowledge, and that's not their fault. But yeah, I would say just trying to find someone who you trust, either via that acne expert locator or just connecting with them on social media, even having a consultation before to be like, okay, does this person actually know and understand acne, or are they just saying they can treat it?
Yeah. Yeah. So interviewing them basically,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
with
Kind
my
of. Yeah.
clients, like, yeah, I have a free discovery call for all my clients before they become a VIP member, because they're investing and they're spending a lot of time together with me. So I want to make sure it's the right fit, and I want them to know that it's the right fit too. So don't be afraid to ask for a free consult, or just to like hop on a call
Yeah,
really quickly, or like DM them back and forth and just ask questions. Like, you totally have that right as a paying customer or potential paying customer.
for sure.
And we'll link the Face Reality locator in the show
Yeah.
notes too for you
Yeah.
guys. Before I transition, one of the other things too that I think is really important is that you personally struggled with acne and were able to clear your skin. So I say that because I think that's really helpful for people to understand, because I think, it's just helpful to have someone who actually like gets it, because acne is such a confidence, it just wears your confidence down. Like, a lot of times when you're in it, you're like, I'm just going to be stuck with this for the rest of my life. It's so frustrating. So many people have tried so many different things. So you and I both have struggled with our own acne, and we're able to clear our skin. And so I just wanted to point that out too, because you really know what you're doing, from like, you have all the training and stuff, but you also have that personal experience as well.
Yeah, for sure. It does make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah. And you get it, because you can, I think, be there for people like on an emotional level, because you've
Mhm.
gone through it. So
Yep.
let's talk about what you shouldn't do when you're having an active breakout. So when you're breaking out, especially if maybe you have chronic breakouts, or maybe you've healed your skin and you see a breakout, you kind of have like this PTSD response of like, oh no, what's happening? Like, you have this freak out moment. What are things from a topical angle that you should not do, or common
Yeah.
mistakes that you see people do?
Number one, and it's probably the most obvious, but just not picking at those breakouts. Anytime we're trying to pick or pop or anything like that, we're just spreading bacteria. So, and you probably know from experience, because we've all done it. So you see a breakout, you pick at it because you just want it gone. And then the next day you have like three more in that same area. So you're spreading bacteria, and then you're just causing way more work when your skin is clear, because you're going to make scarring worse, or that post-inflammatory pigment. So just keeping your hands off your face is number one. Also, just not overdoing it with skincare and your acne products. It's so easy to, like you said, panic and be like, oh my gosh, I need to use all of these products 2, 3 times a day to try to dry it out. If it's like one single breakout, one single pimple, we can kind of take that dry it out approach. But if you're dealing with like a significant breakout all over your face, we don't want to dry the skin out, because that's just going to prevent your skin from healing. So, just kind of keep it business as usual with your skincare routine when you are going through a bad breakout, and, don't be tempted to overdo it.
And I think that's a huge thing, because I know when that was happening to me, it's like you get that urge of like, you want to fix it. So you want to
Yeah.
use all the drying products, you want to use like all the drying masks, or like wash your face a lot to like get rid of that oil. But you're doing yourself a disservice, because then your skin is drying out too much. And so your skin is going to overcompensate by producing more oil, which is going to
Mhm.
cause more breakouts. So it seems kind of counterintuitive, but I think more and more people are recognizing that, like that's like a big myth. But I know
Yeah.
sometimes, even like when I was in the midst of this and I was like crying to my fiance about it, he was like, well, just wash your face more. And I was like, no, that's going to make things worse.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand. So
If only it were that easy.
yes, I know. Or, drink more water, change your
Yep.
pillowcase, all those things that we all have heard before. Which, by the way, I remember I asked you one time, I was like, have you heard anything about silk pillowcases? And you're like, I think you said like anecdotally, you're like, it sounds good, but like I haven't had personal or like client experiences with
Yeah.
it. I will say I switched to one and I think it is helpful. So switching to
Really?
a silk pillowcase, I think is actually like, yeah, helpful.
Oh,
So
good to know. I still haven't done that yet. It's one of
yeah,
those I'll randomly think about, and I'm like, I should do that, and then I just haven't.
yeah. I don't think it's like a make or break, but I think
Yeah,
it is like a nice compliment
for
to
sure.
for people like us who have
Yes.
acne. So no picking, not using too many actives, really trying to just avoid touching your face. And the thing I would also add to, which I talked about last time, was like you can have a freak out moment because we're humans, but try not to, you know, freak out too much and just like move
Yeah.
on of like, what can I do? What's in my control? So what's in your control is not doing those things. Let's talk about what we should be doing instead. So what are your top four things, plus any others that you would recommend doing when you have an active breakout?
Yeah. So icing your skin is so helpful, and you don't have to have any kind of fancy tool or jade roller that you keep in your freezer. Literally an ice cube and just kind of glide it along anything inflamed. You don't want to hold the ice there and give yourself an ice burn, but yeah, just gliding the ice cube over your face, it's going to reduce inflammation so much. So I always recommend that morning and night when someone's going through a significant breakout. And then it's also just a helpful tool to help you keep your hands off your face, because when you feel that inflammation and that pressure, you want to pick. So the ice is kind of a good little tool to distract while helping with inflammation. I also love LED therapy. So I'm sure everyone's seen those masks at this point. They're kind of all over social media. So we have blue light and we have red light. Blue light is great for killing acne bacteria under the surface of the skin. And then you have red light, which is more associated with anti-aging. But honestly, I love red light too for helping heal breakouts, because red light is focused on helping your skin make collagen. And so we're just renewing the skin, which is going to help breakouts heal faster as well. So the big thing with the LED masks is that you just want to find a legit one. Basically, they're not all created equal. You want to look for one that's FDA cleared so that it's actually approved to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. My favorite one is Omnilux, but there's a few other out there too that are FDA cleared. And then I love high frequency. So if you have had an acne facial, this is used in treatment rooms a lot of times. It kind of sounds like a little bug zapper. And this is another great tool for spot treating. It really kills the bacteria, reduces inflammation, and you can same kind of concept as you do with the ice, like kind of just gliding it over the skin, or you can literally zap individual breakouts. And that is like, I swear by high frequency, that is like the one thing. If you zap breakouts with high frequency, they heal so fast.
Okay.
So yeah, that's a great tool to have if you can get your hands on one.
Where
Um,
can you just get that on Amazon?
yeah,
Like,
I
is
was
that a link that you'll
I
provide?
yeah. The
Okay.
the big thing you want to the argon light is better for acne. So think AA argon acne. That's going to be more acne specific. The other light, it has more just anti-aging benefits.
Okay.
But yeah, I send my a lot of my clients an Amazon link for one, and I think it's around $100, but
Okay.
such a good tool to have. I feel like it's way more effective than like, skincare spot treatment.
Okay. Will that help with like post if you have like post inflammation, like red marks? Does that help prevent that if you're like kind of getting it right away, or is that off base?
I would say if it would help in the sense of if you are, because if you can get the breakouts to heal faster before they like surface and become really angry, then yes.
Okay.
But I would lean more toward LED and red light for the post-inflammatory marks.
Okay. So if you have the budget, both of those sound like they'd be great
Yeah,
resources to have.
absolutely.
And those are things too, like, because I think the Omalex, it's like, oh, 350 or three, almost 400.
Right around there, yeah.
Yeah. And then this one's 100-ish. So it is
Mhm.
an investment, but these things are meant to last forever. And just think about
Yeah.
like your peace of mind, right? So if this is going to help increase your confidence when you're having an active flare, or I'm thinking about like, just how I am when I have a breakout, because even though my skin is cleared now, it's like that's totally normal. We're all human and that will happen sometimes. And I know you're the same way. Like we're both
Mhm.
very, transparent on social media about like, okay, like I'm an acne specialist and I still get breakouts sometimes. Let's talk about it because that's
Yeah.
really real. We want to be transparent and realistic about it. So yeah, these are an investment, but just think about like long-term benefits if it's going to last you the rest of your life and it's going to give you peace of mind and your confidence back. I mean, it might be worth it. So
For sure.
yeah, cool. So red, blue light, LED,
Yep.
high frequency, perfect.
Yes. And then get a good spot treatment. So we don't want to have to, rely on spot treatments, because then you're never, the goal with acne is prevention, but we're still going to experience breakouts from time to time. So it's so helpful to have a spot treatment on hand that you can treat those individual breakouts with when they come. My favorite spot treatment is from Face Reality. They have a really great sulfur spot treatment. So I prefer that over like pimple patches. I tell everyone, like, a pimple patch, if you need it to keep your hands off your face, fine. I find them to be like a little too aggressive sometimes. They can be more irritating. So the sulfur, you just dab it on. It's your last step in your skincare routine before bed. Go to sleep in it and you wake up and it really shrinks down breakouts overnight. So yeah, a great spot treatment, another tool to just like help you keep your hands off. And then just a really helpful tip that doesn't cost anything. Do your skincare routine in either the dark or just very dim lighting. I can't stress enough the importance of not being 1 inch from the mirror because it's just going to cause you to want to pick. Um, if you can't really see what's going on your skin, you're not going to pick at it. And then it's going to heal faster when you're just doing your skincare and out of the bathroom.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm personally not a picker. I've never been a picker, but I am an overanalyzer, which
Yeah.
causes me stress. So I'm 1 inch from the mirror, but I'm like, oh no, like, do I see another one? Is like, I just get in my head about it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's helpful whether you pick or not, just like a good tool, just for the moment, like remove yourself. And I know when I was at my worst too, like I showered in the dark and things like that. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because it really can impact your mental health when you're over analyzing it.
Totally. Yeah.
I use the spot treatment you mentioned too. And I will even, and you can tell me if this actually does anything or not, but if I feel like acne breakout coming on,
Mhm.
because usually for me now it's just kind of like one at a time, which is nice now that I've gotten over like the chronic breakouts like all over my chin and jaw. But when I am having one, I'll dot that on there after I ice it. Does that do anything, or does it have to like come to the surface for that spot
No,
treatment to
that's
actually work?
that's when you want a spot treat, actually.
Okay.
You want it as soon as you feel that bump coming on, spot treat.
Okay.
That's when you should start icing, start LED, start high frequency,
Okay.
do spot treatment. Yeah, because you want to get it. Ideally, you're killing it before it can come to the surface.
Okay. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
like, I think this helps, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, yeah. Right.
So you can use all of those things, like even the high frequency, like right when you start to
Yeah.
feel it. Okay.
Ideally, that's when you should, because we want
Okay.
to prevent it from getting to the
Mm,
surface, being like a big angry thing that, potentially scabs or gets picked at and then scabs and causes a scar. So the more preventative work we can do, the better.
I think that's really good to know, like that you can even prevent them from coming to the surface sometimes with using these tools
Mhm.
too. They don't have to like be actively flaring for these things to work.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Is there anything else that you would add just from your expert opinion or experience with, dealing with active breakouts? I feel like we covered a lot, but just wanted to
Yeah.
see if there was.
Yeah. I mean, really, with acne, the most important thing to do is prevent it because, from a skin perspective, what's happening is that we're just shedding too many dead skin cells. So that's where, when we're acne prone, we just have to exfoliate a little more than most people. That's really been key for me personally, is understanding what level of exfoliation I need. And it looks different for everyone. So there really is so much value in finding an esthetician you trust who can get you on a skincare routine that's preventative and that's going to keep your skin healthy, because really there's no like cure for acne. So it's, it can be managed, but if you're not doing something to prevent it consistently, that's when we're kind of playing this endless game of whack-a-mole and spot treating. So the more preventative work you can do, the less you'll have to worry about the whole spot treatment thing.
Yep. Yep. And that's where working with someone like you for a custom skincare routine is so, so
Mhm.
crucial. And also myself, if there's internal imbalances going on that are leading to chronic acne. So that is a really good point too of how to prevent it and having the right skincare because I have had clients come to me with acne in the past and we're working on it from an internal lens with the functional lab testing, nutrition intervention, stuff like that. And I do ask them to go through, I'm not an esthetician, obviously, but like I have enough experience to like red flag if they're using a product that has pore cloggers, or I send them like the link to check it. And so there are a lot of times where they're working with an esthetician, again, who is quote unquote specialized in acne and they're on a bunch of pore cloggers. Do you have a link that you use for checking pore cloggers?
Yeah, I actually just have an app. There's lots of if you literally Google pore clogging ingredients checker, there's a good many out there. The app I use is called Acne Safe.
Acne safe.
And then
Okay.
mhm. Clear Stem, if you're familiar with that skincare line, they have one built into their website. And yeah, that's a really great place to start too, because that's something, and there's mixed opinions out there on the whole pore clogging thing, but I will tell you, I once I eliminated any and all pore clogging ingredients from my skincare, it's crazy how much my skin changed. So it's like you can be using what you think is the best skincare out there, and it can be full of pore clogging ingredients still because most lines are just they're not as worried about acne or they're not as well versed in the whole pore clogging thing. So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I was using medical grade skincare for 3 years and my skin was horrible. I was like, why am I using the best of the best products and having all of this acne? And I really believe that a lot of it was due to there were just lots of pore cloggers in what I was using.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll drop the link for some of those to check your
Yeah.
products too, because that's a really good point. I'm glad we mentioned that. So
Yeah.
amazing. Well, thank you so much. So I am going to ask you my question that I usually answer, but I always like to ask guests when they're on the show how they're nourishing themselves recently in this season, this week, whatever. And it could be physically, emotionally, and mentally, spiritually, whatever. But would love to hear how are you proactively like nourishing yourself recently?
Yeah. So when I read this question, it was really hard for me to come up with an answer, which says a lot, I think. I'm like, all right, I need to do better. But I think where I landed was I'm trying to nourish myself more by having just like balance and letting myself slow down. And that's both like physically and emotionally, because I tend to just be like a very go, 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 do, do, do person. So trying to like pause and just be okay with the days that are slower, when it comes to work or even working out, the days when I wake up and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it today. Like just recognizing like that that's okay and I can slow down and not have to do like a crazy workout or do all the things. So I think that's helped a lot, nervous system stuff and just being like, okay, I can slow down. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's what we're doing nowadays.
Yeah, I can relate to that a lot because I think as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, like we have that personality where we don't need motivation to go after what we want or to do all the
Yeah.
things. We need like someone to tell us like, calm the F down.
Yeah.
So, and like,
Literally.
don't try and do all the things. So I've been talking about that a lot recently is just, yeah, I need to like slow down and be okay backing off, like being okay being lazy and not doing things and not being productive all the time. So I love that. I think that's really good for listeners too, because I'm sure, you are what you attract. So I'm sure I attract, and a lot of my clients are those personalities too. So a good reminder
Mhm.
to slow down, and that is productive. And you don't always have to be doing something, all the time that you feel like
Yeah,
is necessary. So slowing down is also productive and necessary.
it is.
So how can people find you if they want to work with you or follow you, learn more about what you do and your approach?
Yeah. So Instagram's probably the easiest way. Aesthetics by Emmy is my business name. My Instagram is aesthetics by Emmy underscore 614. And then, yeah, hopefully if you Google it, all of that comes up. It does for me,
We'll
but
put
I'm
it in the
always
show
like,
notes.
yeah. I'm like, is that just my Google knowing who I am and showing me my website? But I'm always like, how am I doing in SEO? And I always pop up. But yeah, I use Gloss Genius is my booking website for now. So you can always book through there. You're always safe to book my either the new client facial or new client clear skin coaching is my actual acne program. So that gives us plenty of time for a really good consultation and a facial as well. So, but yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions just, via Instagram or whatever's easy for you.
Yeah, perfect. And you're located in your physical location is Columbus, and you do some virtual consultation as well for people outside of the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah, I can definitely do virtual consultations. We'll meet over Zoom and you send me photos of your skin. So we can do the whole consultation and everything over Zoom. And then, I send you your skincare products. And obviously we're not getting like facials in that sense, but you can do so much with skincare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use those links below to like check your current products. And then if you're like, oh, like this actually has a lot of pore cloggers, I need some help figuring out like what to do instead. That would be great if you're not local to the area to book with Emmy for a virtual consult because she really will look at your skin. Like you can tell a lot, I think, even pictures. But then she'll give you like customized products that would be perfect for your goals and your skin type and all that kind of stuff. So that's great. Cool.
Yes.
Well, thanks so much again for being on. I think that's going to be super helpful for people. Appreciate you
Yeah.
taking the time to. We had some technology issues at the beginning, so
Yeah, we made it. We
we
did
worked
it.
through those. But thank you for being on.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, thanks for listening. And if you found this helpful, please send it to a friend, leave a review. It really helps grow the show. I really appreciate it. And until next time, stay nourished.